Imagine a world where millions once united in epic quests, forging alliances across realms in a digital odyssey that redefined entertainment. World of Warcraft, the crown jewel of Western gaming innovation, peaked at over 12 million subscribers in 2010, embodying the spirit of meritocratic adventure and immersive storytelling, rooted in timeless myths. Yet beneath this facade of glory lies an insidious rot, the infiltration of identity politics reshaping narratives not for artistic merit, but for ideological conformity. What began as subtle tweaks has escalated into a franchise-killing force, alienating loyal fans, hemorrhaging players, and exposing corporate hypocrisy. By 2025, subscriber estimates hover around 7 million, a shadow of its former self amidst scandals, boycotts, and an exodus to underground servers. This is no mere evolution, it is a calculated destruction. Join us as we unveil the brutal truths. Identity politics is not enhancing World of Warcraft, it is dismantling an iconic franchise, one virtue signal at a time. World of Warcraft emerged from Western cultural traditions, drawing on epic fantasies like J.R.R. Tolkien's works and Dungeons & Dragons, where heroes rose through skill and story unbound by modern agendas. For years, it thrived as a merit-based escape, fostering global communities through shared challenges. This raw, masculine medieval energy defined the brand, unflinching in portraying a world that isn't always benevolent, where horrible atrocities demanded heroes to rise. Consider the orcish enslavement and forced breeding of Alexstrasza, the Dragon Queen, a stark depiction of violation that underscored the stakes. Elements of good exist, but the reason to fight stems from confronting evil head-on, not merely discussing feelings. Moments like Garrosh Hellscream bluntly calling Sylvanas Windrunner a bitch in Mists of Pandaria.
What difference is there between you and the Lich King now?
Isn't it obvious, War Chief? I serve the Horde.
Watch your clever mouth, bitch!
Captured this unfiltered intensity, motivating players to care about Azeroth's fate through action and conflict, not emotional monologues. However, by the late 2010s, Blizzard Entertainment began injecting identity politics, prioritizing representation over gameplay integrity, a process of pussification that diluted this core energy. The emasculation of male characters began even before Legion, with figures like Thrall transitioning from a fierce war chief to a more introspective, softened role, and culminated in Legion with the killing of Varian Wrynn, one of the last two truly masculine pillars, leaving only Illidan Stormrage as a distant remnant. This shift accelerated in 2021 amidst internal scandals, leading to mass renamings, quests, items, and NPCs stripped of quote-unquote offensive elements. Often tied to real-world figures implicated in harassment allegations, what was once sold as sensitivity became a purge, erasing lore for ideological purity. By 2024 to 2025, these changes have deepened divides. Community forums erupt in debates over transgender representation, with players accusing Blizzard of fostering transphobia or conversely forcing agendas that alienate traditionalists. Diversity quotas in character design emphasizing non-binary options and cultural inclusivity have sparked intrigue. Are these genuine expansions or pandering that dilutes the game's escapist essence? Subscriber numbers reveal the cost. From a 2022 low of around 4 million, a brief rebound to 7 in 2025 masks ongoing erosion, with daily active users averaging 1.4 to 2 million. This is not progress, it is a betrayal of WoW's core, transforming a Western icon of creative freedom into a battleground for cultural wars, driving away the very players who built its empire. The intrusion of identity politics has not gone unchallenged, but the consequences are devastating. The 2019 Blitzchung incident remains a pivotal intrigue. Blizzard banned a pro-Hong Kong esports player during a live stream prioritizing Chinese market sensitivities over free speech, igniting global boycotts and exposing the company's ideological inconsistencies. This hypocrisy deepened in 2021, with revelations of widespread sexual harassment at Blizzard leading to lawsuits and mass employee walkouts. In response, the company overhauled content, such as renaming the character from McCree to Cassidy from Overwatch and purging suggestive emotes, framing it as moral rectification, yet critics argue it was a smokescreen for deeper cultural failures. After these lawsuits filed by the California Civil Rights Department, the settlement in 2023 mandated workplace improvements, including enhanced diversity and equal opportunity measures, almost as if the state imposed ideological reforms on the company. This aligns with California's stringent environment, prompting other firms like Tesla to flee the state for more business-friendly locales, highlighting how external pressures may have accelerated Blizzard's pivot towards enforced inclusivity. Fast forward to 2025, community rifts persist with Reddit threads decrying transphobia in role-playing circles, while others lament forced inclusivity as lore-breaking. Influential streamers like Asmongold have amplified these debates, blending WoW commentary with political critique, drawing millions to question Blizzard's direction. These scandals reveal identity politics as a double-edged sword, professed for virtue, wielded for control, leaving creators burned out and players disillusioned, fracturing WoW's once unified realm. At the heart of this destruction lies corporate greed, amplified by identity politics as a marketing tool. Blizzard under Activision began these shifts, but Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition in 2023 promised renewal, yet delivered more of the same. The tech giant, known for progressive stances, has intensified diversity initiatives, integrating them into WoW's updates like expanded representation and expansions such as The War Within. Is this authentic or a ploy to appease stakeholders while ignoring gameplay demands? The majority of Blizzard's employees, often aligned with woke or SJW ideologies, isn't inherently the problem. If they crafted compelling stories, it wouldn't matter, but it is blatantly obvious they aren't, and it's showing in the pussification of the narrative. This extends to character portrayals, the forced masculinity of female characters, imposing rugged traits while desexualizing them, eradicating beautiful women with enticing bodies that once embodied medieval treasures. Female beauty was valued even in historical times for inspiration and allure. Forced diversity replaces this with homogenized designs, uglifying female characters under the guise of inclusivity, catering to a mere 2 to 3% minority, while ignoring the male gaze that drives engagement. Intriguingly, the majority of women who play WoW don't want ugly characters either. It's a terrible mismatch. Sylvanas Windrunner elevated to a contradictory she-hero, without coherent rationale undermining her villainous depth, and Khadgar confined to a wheelchair in The War Within, further emasculating a once powerful mage. Blizzard's roadmaps for 2025 tease evergreen updates and new zones, but sidestep more complaints about ideological overhauls. Corporations like Microsoft exploit identity politics not for empowerment but profit, diluting franchises to chase trends, alienating core audiences, and perpetuating a cycle of decline that threatens Western gaming's innovative legacy. Yet amidst the ruins, resistance stirs. Players boycott post-2019 and 2021 scandals forced partial concessions. Like relaxed censorship policies, in 2025, the Turtle WoW lawsuit has galvanized communities, with forums decrying it is a waste of resources and fueling speculation of official Classic Plus servers to recapture lost players. Broader industry shifts, including critiques of representation in games, signal a potential backlash against overzealous identity politics. This energy drain at Blizzard became glaring when Chris Metzen returned in 2023 as executive creative director. In interviews, he expressed surprise at the inner workings, noting a, quote, democracy of ideas, unquote, where collaborative input dominates.
What are the main themes? What's the focus? Really have become much more democratized, right? And people were, had kind of found their voice in the balance of all the special teams that comprise the World of Warcraft team. They'd really built the vision of Dragonflight together. So as I came back in, woohoo! And there were folks going like, oh wow, how is this going to change our dynamic? In terms of being a creative director, like will we still have a voice? Will we still have stakes in how this all shapes out? So, like I was saying earlier, kind of learning that again and learning that balance again and coming in as creative director and be like, no, I'm not here to be, hyper prescriptive with everything as I might have been as a younger dude, but like really listening for the team's instincts. Like what are they responding to? What do they want to build? What do the artists want to make? What are they imagining?
While democracy in business isn't always detrimental, it falters without a decisive leader to make final calls, and Blizzard clearly lacks this, ensuring stagnation. If the Kool-Aid hair SJWs penned solid stories and built engaging games, few would complain. But the destroyed creative vitality is obvious. Governmental scrutiny on tech monopolies could pressure Microsoft, while indie alternatives thrive by prioritizing fun over agendas. Redemption demands rejecting ideological intrusions, refocusing on WoW's roots, or risk permanent irrelevance in a Western culture that values authentic storytelling over enforced conformity. World of Warcraft stands at a precipice, a once mighty franchise now crippled by identity politics that prioritizes division over delight. From scandals to subscriber slumps, the evidence is damning, yet the intrigue lies in what comes next. Will corporate overlords awaken, or will players forge their own paths? The fate of this iconic world hangs in the balance. Reclaim the adventure, demand better, for in the end, true heroism defies agendas, it conquers them. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video.